we join Ho Chi Minh and Joseph Stalin. At the end of the day, they've been in the forest in Moscow, 1921. Lenin is the leader of the Soviet Union, and Stalin is just beginning his power play. Here he is in the forest, tying his beloved red flag to the pole, his flagpole, and now he's getting it up, as they say in the Soviet Union, getting the flag up, and that's it. He's very proud, Stalin is, of this red flag. Just remember, it is only in 1917 that the Bolsheviks came to power, and now he's here in the forest that once belonged to the Tsar, and now he has that power, and in a few years' time he'll have even more power. By 1928 he'll be de facto ruler of the Soviet Union. And there's Stalin and a very young Ho Chi Minh holding the pole together, raising it up, getting it a bit higher, as they say. Both heroes of socialism. As you can see, Ho Chi Minh is only 4'9", and Stalin's only about 5'3". Both are very short men. Even so, Stalin seems much taller than Ho Chi Minh. There's a picture of the flag there, blowing in the wind. The hammer for industry, the sickle for agriculture, the star above, and the red for revolution. So this is a proud moment for these two young socialists. Though what Stalin was eventually to build into the Soviet Union was more akin to totalitarianism, and has often been called Stalinism. Yeah, it's a great shot there. Another flag shot. Going over papers. Stalin always realized the value of good propaganda and how to reach the masses with Soviet newspapers, Bolshevik papers. 1921, so these are early. You've got a picture of Marx and Engels. And who else? We have workers, a picture of workers, Lenin there, who was, by 1924, suffered a number of serious strokes and passed away. A Soviet poster there. There's a great picture of Stalin. More of the workers. More. This was a time of turmoil. Russia had just been through a bloody civil war. The new economic policy had been introduced by Lenin as a means for peasants to sell excess food on the open market, which thus produced kulaks, which eventually Stalin in its collectivization would eradicate. As he always said, he would destroy many wealthy peasants. Ho Chi Minh, Stalin, Lenin. Stalin puts his documents away and gets out a bottle of vodka. Remember, for Russians, drinking vodka is like drinking water. The water in Russia is very bad, so they tend to drink vodka just like water. Ho Chi Minh has acclimatized to the Russian way and will, I'm sure, take a swig or two in a moment. He looks happy. Maybe he's already had a few swigs of vodka and is thus rather inebriated. Stalin is encouraging him to drink like a Russian. Ho takes a sniff, and there he drinks, taking a massive knock there. God, he certainly is an honorary Russian, isn't he? Knocking it back like that. Stalin laughingly lends a hand. What a trooper. He's downing it in one. Oh, blimey, God. And now it's Comrade Stalin's turn to have a swig of finest Russian vodka, if you know what I mean. There he is, having a knock. I guess they're both toasting the revolution, 1917, and the victory of the Reds over the Whites in the Civil War. Now they can concentrate on building socialism in one country, the policy that Joseph Stalin advocated. He always felt that it was far important to make Russia stronger before exporting the revolution, because he knew that the West would retaliate against the socialist revolution. Now a stroll through the former lands of the Tsar. A forest near Moscow. Ho holds the flag, and Stalin changes direction. Stalin leads the way, and Ho follows. Remember, Ho's time would not really come into being until the 1950s, when the Vietnamese defeated the French in Dien Bien Phu in 1954. And then in 1965, the war escalated with the USA in Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh always saw himself more as a liberator. He always wanted the French and then the Americans out of his country. As you can see, Stalin is using a walking stick. But he's still able to carry the red flag. In 1921, it was not certain that Stalin would succeed him. In fact, there was a few others, including Trotsky, who would more likely to succeed Lenin after his death in 1924. But Stalin was able to use the bureaucracy of the Soviet Party to his advantage and plant his men in key positions so that when the time was right, he was able to seize power. And using the Soviet secret police, he was able to eradicate all opponents and then begin the 5-year industrial plans and the collectivization of agriculture, which was so costly in lives that it caused a famine and cause misery for untold millions of Soviet citizens. Stalin always liked to talk a lot about all that he professed to know. Here, Stalin and Ho chat about recent events. Ho talks about the plight of his people under the French in Indochina and how he would like to see his country liberated. There's Ho Chi Minh, who'd lived in England, had a fondness for Richmond Park and its deers. Here he is, yawning away. Stalin obviously has drunk far too much and has passed out. Ho Chi Minh is just sitting next to his master, almost, it seems. He looks in pain almost, yawning again. Perhaps he's drunk too much as well. Though we know that Ho Chi Minh has suffered an upset stomach that day. Let's hope his troubles down below have ended. Oh no, he does look a bit like he's in agony. Ho Chi Minh had once been a pastry chef in London, and it's rumoured that he studied under the famous chef Escoffier. And so he could have been a famous chef himself, but he got turned on to the ideas of socialism and liberation for the colonies. Not much is known about his whereabouts in the 1940s. He would meet Stalin again in 1950. My, he looks like he's still in pain. At least he's home now, he can change his underpants if he needs to. Oh my, I say Stalin seems to be fairly conscious, or semi-conscious at least. Probably spouting quite a lot of Bolshevism at the moment. There he is, back to sleep. Now he's working some ancient Georgian magic. I wonder what he's dreaming about. The gulags, the purges, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, millions that will die because of him.